One. Welcome to Breaking Boundaries. Hi, my name is Saul Mitz, and I'm with Tanisha the Great, and we're representing the recovery community. We're shining insights on resources for the truth, and we're all about helping one another here on this channel. First of all, I just wanted to let you guys know if you guys like our videos, please like, share, and subscribe. We need to have this message out. Guys, please do your most to just please share these videos if you can. Thank you so much. Tanisha, we're going to start off. How you doing today?
I'm good.
You're doing good.
Yes.
Well, that's good. It's a blessing, honor, and privilege to have you here, I guess, on our show. We go way back. You know what I mean? I'm glad to see that you're here in the therapeutic community, the recovery community. We just want to just shine grace on your life, and we just want to just thank God for your life. First question I want to ask you today. What was your childhood like?
Okay, my childhood was good. I grew up in a great neighborhood. I was raised by my aunt and uncle at the age of 2 because my parents were both in addiction. My dad smoked crack cocaine and was an alcoholic. My mother did meth. So at the age of 2, I had to get adopted by my aunt and uncle, which is my dad's sister. And so they raised me. I went to school. I've always wanted my parents, growing up. Even though I didn't have them, I really never understood it because I was so young of why I didn't have my parents. But I was doing good in school. I never got in trouble. The only thing was at home, I felt like I was left out because I had cousins. I had a cousin, she's like my sister, which was my uncle's and aunt's daughter, and their 2 sons. I just always wondered why they had their parents and why I didn't have mine.
So you're saying, you growing up in your childhood, both parents were dealing with addiction?
Yes.
Right? And your mom was dealing with what kind of drugs?
Meth.
Meth, and your dad?
Crack cocaine.
Crack cocaine. And in the process of them, in their addiction, you had to go live with your aunt and uncle?
Which is my dad's sister.
Okay. And so at that time, you had a little resentment in your heart because your parents had been giving you up?
It wasn't necessarily resentment. It was more hurt, pain. I just never understood it, and it's like it wasn't explained to me as a kid. So basically, I was raised as, my aunt and uncle, they were my parents.
They were your parents.
That's
okay.
what I knew.
And what kind of household were they strict, or were they, they were understanding, as raising you as a child?
My uncle was a truck driver, which he still is. So he was always on the road, always gone. He took care of the bills, the kids' school clothes. He made sure, as financially, we were straight. But my aunt, she was a housewife. She didn't have a job, but she would make sure we go to bed on time, we did our chores, we made good grades in school.
So a structural lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot to understand. Like a lot of times people don't understand. And when you come from that type of background, when your parents happen to be dealing with addiction, it's horrible for the child growing up because the simple fact is they want the parents' love, and the parents are not able to give that love because they're dealing with addiction. A lot of times we're in recovery when a lot of us have kids, you know what I'm saying, and they want to get back to their kids, but in order for you to be any good to your kids, you have to get your mental right. You have to get this sobriety underneath your belt. You know what I mean? Or else you're not going to be able to help your kids.
Right.
Okay. So how were you in school?
Middle school I did good. I participated. Elementary, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I did good. I participated in all the programs, after school programs. Middle school I was an AB on road student. I did sports, basketball, volleyball. I was the best I could be.
Wow, you're very athletic.
Yes.
Yes.
Basketball was my thing.
Basketball was your thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so how far did you take that? Were you to the high school level or collegiate level, or how did that go?
Well, middle school we can only do it like during recess or whatever, but high school, I didn't graduate. I made it to 11th grade, but freshman year, I was on JV basketball, point guard. I did volleyball. Really, I was the best I could be in all of them until I dropped out of school.
You had a competitive nature about yourself?
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt like I had to win.
Yeah, you win. awesome. So let's get on to the next situation at hand. Your DLC. What was your DLC? And what was your first time you encountered drugs and alcohol?
I was on meth. Methamphetamines was my drug of choice. The first time I did it was with my kid's dad. I was real young. At the time, he wasn't my kid's dad. I was 15 years old. When I dropped out of school, I started hustling. I was in trap houses selling crack cocaine. I felt like the street life could show me love if I wasn't getting the love I needed at home. So I actually ran away from home. Started dealing crack cocaine.
How old was you?
I was 15.
15, okay.
Started dealing crack cocaine, living in trap houses, started stripping in and out of, I didn't go to jail that much, but I did go to jail. I was in and out of trap houses all day, every day. And then I met my kid's dad, my first child's dad. When I was 15, him and his friend was just, we was sitting in the room and they was just, I used to smoke marijuana at the time. They was like, you want to try this? I was like, what is that? Because I've never heard of it before. And they was like, this is meth. It's going to make you feel good. And I was like, really? So the first time I did it, I was like, I'm not even high. I was hot. Ironing clothes, cleaning up. I was doing 4 things at the same time. Wow. But I swear I was not high. Yeah. And so after that, I just liked the feeling that it gave me. It made me feel good.
Yeah. Made you feel good. Made you feel like you was on top of your game, right?
Yes.
You were so high you didn't notice that you were high.
Yeah.
Wow. And so you mentioned that you was also a stripper.
Yes.
Now, what age was that? Let's talk about that. That led you, were you using your drug use? You saying that led you into doing that, stripping? Or?
I did the drugs first, and then I met this guy, and he was like, well, you want to make a lot of money, you can come with me. And at that time, I was all about money. I felt like money was everything. So I was like, yeah, sure. So we went to Lubbock in Texas, and I started stripping there. Well, first I started in Amarillo at this club called Cheetahs. I was stripping there, and that was basically there for me to learn because it was like a low-budget club just to learn some moves and stuff. And then I worked at Cassidy's, started stripping there. I was making a lot of money there, and then we would go from town to town. And I was getting high, but he didn't know I was getting high. I would leave him and go get high with the money that I made.
Wow. So this is basically, like I say, people, places, and things, and then you starting that new wave of dealing with methamphetamine, and now you addicted not only to the drug, but also the lifestyle that comes with it. The money. Wow. Okay, so let's see if this says, so you said, how did it make you feel? How did it make you feel at that time?
It made me feel good, but at the same time, it made me, I got social anxiety a lot. I didn't want to be around people that much. So it made me feel good, but also it made me not a people person.
Not a people person, you isolated.
Yeah.
So you you just by yourself?
I would be by myself, yeah.
Wow. That's the first time you're hearing something like that. Because you there talking somebody gets high, they want to be with friends and family members and whoever is dealing with their drugs, man.
I was sneaking to get high,
So yeah, she was hiding, okay. Yeah. It's okay. So how long did you abuse drugs and alcohol?
For 15 years before I came to California.
15 years?
Yeah.
15 years. It was off and on, or was it straight 15 years?
I can't, off and on because I had got pregnant, almost every year.
Let's talk about that. Because a lot of times people understand, in the lifestyle, things to come, you got coming and going, you got things going, people coming in your life. Let's talk about that.
I got pregnant with my first daughter. I was 18 years old. I got pregnant. That was a good pregnancy. I got up to 200 and some pounds. I was healthy. I was staying with my aunt Renee at the time.
Yes.
She was helping me out with that pregnancy. And then after I had my first daughter, I got back in the streets. I would have my cousin watch my daughter, and I felt like because she was with my cousin, she was somewhere safe. So there would be times where I would leave her with my cousin and not answer the phone and none of that because I got back into drugs and the street life. So I had caught my first prostitution charge whenever I was 18 years old. And I remember when they busted me, I was just crying. All I could think about was my daughter. And so I went to jail for a month. After I got out, At that time, I had to sign my rights over once I went to jail because my cousin called CPS on me because she felt like I wasn't taking care of my business or my daughter like I was supposed to be. They felt like, not they felt like, but they knew my daughter would be better off with them. And so she called CPS and they kept my daughter from me. So at that time, I felt like, forget it. I mean, it was already too late, yeah. I might still keep doing drugs.
And so, in being that you were hurt at the moment, losing your daughter, you dove head first into the lifestyle and began to keep using.
Yeah.
And then what happened after that? Like, you have more kids, right? So how many kids you got?
I have 5.
5 kids.
Yeah. I kept using, that's when I met my first, second child's father. Sorry. That's the one that actually took me out of town to go stripping or whatever. I ended up getting pregnant again in Lubbock, drunk, got pregnant again, and he moved me to Dallas with him. I was staying in Arlington. I wasn't getting high at that time. Once I found out that that I was pregnant again, I wasn't getting high. No, I take that back. I didn't go, wait.
Oh,
sorry.
Take your time.
He moved me to with Arlington to him after our second child. I had 2 kids with him. I had 2 daughters with him. He moved me to Arlington after, because I got pregnant in Lubbock with my first daughter. I had my first daughter. I moved back to Amarillo. Had her, and then I moved. Then that's after we had our first daughter. That's when I moved to Dallas, and I was pregnant with my second daughter from him. So I had my oldest daughter, which wasn't his, my middle daughter, and then I was pregnant with my third daughter.
So what kind of influence was he on you? Was he doing also drugs also?
He drank a little bit, but he was a pimp.
He was a pimp. Okay,
yes.
That was the influence that he had on you.
Yeah.
And then you were led by you were saying you were in love at that time, but you thought it was love, but it was lust, right?
Yeah.
And all that happened. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's go on. So what lies did drugs and alcohol have you believe within your addiction? Like, what the false imitation that drugs brought? Like, like you started, hey man, I'm on top of my game, nobody really noticing about me that I'm getting high, I'm in a strip joint here, I'm making money, I feel like I'm a functioning addict, I can do this, I can handle this.
Yeah. It made me believe that I can do whatever I wanted to do and not get caught.
Yeah.
Basically,
was you out there committing any crimes? Were you committing any crimes or anything like that? Besides prostitution or anything like that?
Yeah, no. I had slowed down on that once after I had my third daughter. By this time, I moved back to Amarillo and I got back with my first child's father. I moved back to Amarillo. I had got my income tax one year. So I had got a house, a car, and I was getting food stamps. So I felt like I had it made. But at the same time, my first child's father was an addict, so we would be in the room getting high while I put my kids in the playpen in the living room.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so, like, now, in a sense, we get back to the first part is when we talking about, parents and addiction. Even though she wasn't around her parents, it seemed like you took on the same situations your parents put you in.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's like almost like a generational curse when it comes to that type of situation. And it's quite interesting even when you sit back and look at it. When you tell me the story, it's like, it's like the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree type situation.
Right.
Wow. So let's get into what happened when you feel like, when you realized you was at your rock bottom.
My rock bottom came or not even last year. A couple years after that, my child's father died. He got killed by the police. He was on a motorcycle running from them, and they hit him off his motorcycle, and he got killed. That was one of the worst things I dealt with at the time.
Wow.
I was ready to give up. That was like my best friend. I really had lost it then, so I started digging deeper into the drugs. From that time, I went from smoking it to shooting it. And that was one thing that he didn't want me to do. And I started doing it because I felt like he was gone, and I was just so hurt. I did that, and then 3 years ago, no, I could say 5 years ago, my mom, like I've always wanted my mom and dad. Even though they were in their addiction, they were all I wanted. No matter what, I still love them. So back when I was younger, I used to always want to go with my mom. She lived in Borger, Texas, which is only like 45 minutes from Amarillo. I always wanted her, and so my aunt would let me go with her every once in a while, and so I'll go spend time with her. Well, about 5 years ago, she had a heart attack, and they told her she had congestive heart failure, and so I started being in her life a little bit more, started being there, but I really wasn't there like I was supposed to be because I was still in my addiction. 3 years ago, my mom had passed away, and so you would think that that would be enough for me and that I would want to stop doing drugs, seeing what it did to my mom, but I didn't. And then last year, my dad passed away, and so that was another rock bottom. You would think that I would want to quit. Actually, I did quit. As soon as my dad died last year in May, I came to rehab and changed my life. It really changed my life a lot where I thought it did.
Yeah.
Until this year. Again.
And so you had a relapse in the situation.
Yeah.
But I remember you coming out here to Higher Vision Therapeutic Treatment Center, and the first experience, this is the first time I met you out here. Your life was, you had a sponsor, you worked the steps, everything was going good. But like I said, in the situation we ended up having those losses. Your dad passed away, and that kind of made you relapse, kind of in a way.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that. You know what I'm saying? After losing your pops, you know what I'm saying? You already lost your mom 3 years ago, and then I lost my mom, so I know how that feels. You know what I mean? But then you lose your only parent that you had left. You know what I mean? And then the thing is that you always wanted their love, and you never got that love.
Right.
And you were searching for that, and the emptiness inside. So you went to the streets, and things were happening, and you were searching, and you were trying to understand why life is treating you the way it's treating you. You know what I mean? You keep taking losses after losses. Right. People handling you a certain type of way. And you understand that you have all this care to give, but then nobody give you back. You know what I mean? The empathy that you give it to others. Right. What I'm asking you, and for the viewers, and especially for the female viewers, the female viewers that's actually is probably going through the same thing Tanisha's going through, or has been going through. Let them know about the light at the end of the tunnel. Even though you came to rehab 2 years ago, last year, you know what I mean, you got on the right track, but then things happen, right? People understand. But the thing is, what I respect about you is you got back up and you still fight. You know what I mean? You came back out and got your life together. Right. You know what I mean? For the sake of your kids. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because the analogy when they say, when there's two people, or you and your child's on the plane, right? And the plane's getting ready to go down, right? You got to put the oxygen mask of yourself first before you be able to put the oxygen mask of the child. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So the thing is you have to save yourself first in order to be any type of good to your children. Right. And that's what your main focus is right now, right? Right. First, God, sobriety, and your family. Right. Right. Well, what I want to discuss, I didn't want to ran off the situation because this is really a deep situation. A lot of times people don't understand the trauma, the past, people have went through, and the hurt, the losses. You know what I'm saying? People are searching for something different. And then, I'm tired of losing. You know what I mean? And if you lose your family, that can make a person really just like, man, I can't do it no more. I'll give up. You know what I mean? What about suicide? The suicidal thoughts when you're going through your head? How did the devil come? Because I know the devil came through and he was making you thinking about this, thinking about that. How did God? What did God do to show you like, hey, God, everything's gonna be all right?
Right. I had suicidal thoughts a couple of times. I wanted to shoot myself in the head, which I had a gun actually in my hand one day, and I was actually going to do it. But then I had to think about who still loved me out here. I knew that I still had kids, whether I was there or not. I just know that I'm really their only parent that they had out here, because their dad wasn't in their life. And so I was just like, I didn't do it. I thought about shooting up a bad batch on purpose to kill myself. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't find the strength. I didn't have enough pain to do it. I felt like I was still here for a reason. Even though I was in my addiction, um, there would be these people out there, and they were smoking blue pills. They would do blue pills and whatever, and I was selling to them. But I still felt like I had to give, not really had to give them a check. Like they had a purpose, and so I would make these necklaces, and I had a whole bunch of cross pendant things, and I would put a cross on the necklace, and I would give it to them because I felt like it's fitting on. I felt like they still had another chance of life, so I felt like God gave me that. He gave me strength to be able to still pass His word and still let people know that they have another chance.
Yeah.
And so I would give it to them, even though I was going through my own addiction. So I would tell them, when I see you, I need to see you with this necklace on, and they kept on, and then people are doing better to this day.
So you were saying when you was knee deep in your addiction, when you was living the hotel life, whatever you was living, and even though you was dealing with what you were dealing with, you still would have grace and mercy and hope for somebody else. Say, listen, man, I'm making these crosses, making these pendants, and I want you to keep this on for safety, for protection over their life, because of how the streets are, man. Like I say, out there, it's so cold. So many people are dying. So many people are dying. They're losing their life. This is so serious, y'all. Y'all got to understand this. People out here dying every day. Fentanyl. You know what I'm saying? That fentanyl, that's a demon by itself. You know what I mean? I see so many people come through detox at my work that I see in and out of treatment, man. This is serious, man. You guys got to get a hold of this, man. You know what I mean? You're not going to be able to function correctly. You're not going to be able to live the life that God wants you to live. You know what I mean? With drugs in your life. You know what I'm saying? You have to totally make a change for the better. You know what I mean? Jesus is here. He wants you to come to Him. Give it all to Him. Give it all to Him.
And I actually feel like God gave me chance after chance after chance, and that I feel like I'm still alive for a reason, because it's been so many times where I've been in demonic places in Amarillo that I would think it was like movie type things. Like, I didn't even think it was real, where I was around some evil people and I felt like they were going to kill me. And I would sit there and I would be the only female in the room. And I remember one day I was surrounded by these older men at this house. And this house, the windows was boarded up. It was scary. It was like a haunted house. And I was there by myself, and I was the only female in there. And I felt like, I don't know if y'all know what chloroform is. It's what you put over a towel and you make somebody pass out. I seen these older men, they had that. And I feel like they were going to chloroform me because they wanted to do some things to me. And what I did, instead of like being scared or saying too much or whatever, I stopped and I closed my eyes and I started praying, like, God, please don't let nothing happen to me. Please don't let nothing happen to me. And then boom, somebody rang the doorbell. And I felt like I was saved at that time.
Mercy,
like,
mercy, God.
I felt like it was God, and I was like, ooh, like my heart went from 100 to 0 real quick.
That's just brings into the next question. You know what I mean? Like, I always got to keep God in the room. Because God is first in my life, and He's everything in my life. You know what I'm saying? He brought me through this situation that I've been through. You know what I mean? When I was in a lost situation, I was in a lost state of mind. You know what I'm saying? When I was fighting for my life, you know, God brought me through. What is your relationship with God? Or your higher power?
It's great. I pray. I pray before I close my eyes. I wake up, I'm blessed. I've always had faith in God, no matter what. As a child, I would go to city church, I went to church camp, I stayed in church. Even if I wasn't put in church, I made myself find a church as a kid. So I've always stayed in church. I got baptized when I was younger. I gave my life to God a long time ago, so I feel like He's doing me a favor now.
That's good, man. That's awesome. That's the main point. You know what I mean? Giving your life to the Lord, man. You know what I mean? Because we are living in the last days. Do you believe that?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. What would you like to take time out to discuss to the ones who are still sick in and out of the rooms? And you know, what do you like to tell the person that's might be just viewing this content and they're lost, they're hopeless?
If y'all really want to make it out there and really be great for y'all's kids, for y'all's families, not even be great, but be better for yourselves, go to rehab. Come to rehab. Come to a treatment center. Find something that's going to help you be better. Because if I would have found this place, I probably would have been dead by now. So I feel like I've tried to help so many people this time around. I brought back one person with me, but I was trying to get about 6 or 7 other people out there that I felt like was struggling with addiction, fentanyl, with everything. I've tried to get them out here. I'm saying, like, don't wait till it's too late till you're in the hospital or until you hit your rock bottom or your test of faith. Don't wait till it's too late. Like, get help now. And it may feel like the material things and the people, places, all that it means something to y'all. And at the end of the day, all that don't even matter. Because I left a whole bunch of stuff behind. So, yeah.
Life is valuable. You gotta treat your life valuable.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You gotta treat your body like a temple.
Like a temple. So yeah, that's something. So rehab it changed your life.
Yeah.
Right, it changed your life. Give shouts out to Higher Vision Wellness Center. It's a good program.
Yes.
And also, what about the importance of having a sponsor and going to meetings? What is the importance of that?
It's very important to have a sponsor. I had a sponsor last year. I got through all 12 of my steps. I had sponsees when I left. It's very important to have a sponsor because without a sponsor, you won't be able to get in tune with your higher power or yourself. So you really won't know too much.
Have no expectations. Have no disappointments. I'll say that again. Have no expectations. Have no disappointments. When you put high expectations on people, places, and things, it will surely let you down. And going this route will definitely place you in the mode of a mental relapse.
Yes.
You understand that? Well, guys, we just appreciate your time. It's very valuable. Listen, man, it was great content today. With Sister Tanisha the Great, and Charles Mintz. Listen, if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe to these videos, man. Listen, we need to get this thing going, man. We got to get this movement going, man. This is real serious. This message needs to be passed. So, yeah, man.